Have you ever had a really cool idea for a game or an animation, but then thought, ugh, coding, that sounds way too hard? Well, what if I told you that you could start creating right now with absolutely zero experience? Today, we're jumping into the world of Scratch. It's fun, it's creative, and honestly, it's the best way to get started with coding. Let's do this. So here's our plan for today. Think of it as a guided tour. First up, we'll answer the big question, what exactly is Scratch? Then we'll see how it makes coding feel more like play. After that, we'll get our hands dirty and look at your programming toolkit. Check out the workspace where it all happens, and then get you all set to start your very first project. All right, first stop on our tour, let's tackle that first big question, what is Scratch anyway? Okay, so Scratch actually comes from the super smart folks at the MIT Media Lab. They had this amazing idea. What if learning to code felt less like writing a boring textbook and more like, well, building something? So instead of typing out lines of confusing code, Scratch lets you snap together colorful visual blocks. It's an incredibly smart and simple way to learn the basic ideas of programming without all the usual frustration. The real magic of Scratch is right here in its block-based system. Seriously, think of it like digital Legos. You just find the pieces you want and snap them together. And you know the best part? No more frustrating syntax errors. You literally can't make a mistake because the pieces only fit where they're supposed to go. It is 100% beginner friendly, you see results instantly, and you get to be part of this huge online community of creators who are all learning and sharing together. So, who's actually using this awesome tool? Well, it's a massive hit in schools. About half of all users are students. But it's not just for kids. A big chunk is educators who use it to teach computer science, and the rest are hobbyists and beginners, really of all ages, who are just curious about coding. This mix is what makes the community so cool. It's a real learning ecosystem where everyone can share ideas and grow. Okay, so now we know what it is, but the real secret sauce of Scratch is in how it makes you feel when you use it. It's about way more than just lines of code. It's about playing, creating, and bringing your imagination to life. This quote right here really hits the nail on the head. When you're using Scratch, you're not just a coder. No way. You're a storyteller. You're an animator. You're a game designer. The platform is basically your own digital playground, and you can build pretty much anything you can dream up. And here's something really cool. While you're busy having fun making your cat dance or building a maze game, your brain is actually learning something super important in the background. It's called computational thinking. Now, don't let that fancy term scare you. All it really means is learning how to break down a big, messy problem into a bunch of small, logical steps. And that, right there, is a superpower in our digital world. And this is what that computational thinking looks like in the real world. Every single time you figure out how to make a character jump when you press a button, you're using logical reasoning. You're solving problems. You're learning how to put things in the right order. And all the while, you're being creative. It all just happens naturally as you build. All right, you're ready to start building. So what's in the toolbox? Let's pop the lid on your programming toolkit and check out all the cool digital building blocks you get to play with. First up, we've got the blocks for action and appearance. Motion blocks do pretty much what you'd expect. They make your characters or sprites move around. You want your character to walk, jump, or spin? You'll grab a motion block. Then you've got looks blocks. These are all about the visuals. You can change your character's costume, make them talk with a speech bubble, or even change their color or size. Next, let's make our projects come alive with sound and sensing. The sound blocks let you add music, crazy sound effects, or you can even record your own voice. Now the sensing blocks, these are super important. They're like your character's eyes and ears. They can detect things like, is the mouse pointer touching me? Or has the spacebar been pressed? This is how you make your games interactive. Now these two categories, they're basically the brains of your whole operation. Events blocks are the starters. They kick things off. They answer the question, when should this code run? A really common one is when the green flag is clicked. Then you have control blocks, which manage the flow of your code. They let you do things like repeat actions in a loop or make decisions with if-then statements. Like, if the score equals 10, then you win. This is where the real logic of your project lives. And finally, let's quickly touch on operators and variables. Operators are your tools for math and logic. You can use them to add numbers, pick a random number for a surprise, or check if one thing is bigger than another. And where do you keep track of something like a score? That's where variables come in. Just think of a variable as a little box where you can store a piece of information, like a player's score or a timer, that needs to change as the game goes on. Okay, so you know what the tools are, But where do you actually use them? Well, welcome to the Scratch Workspace. This is your own personal creative workshop. Let's do a really quick tour. Over here on the left, you have the Blocks palette. That's your entire toolkit with all the colorful blocks we just talked about. You literally just drag them into this big empty space in the middle, which is called the script area. That's where you build your code. Down here, you've got your sprite list, which is where you manage your cast of characters. And finally, all the action happens right here on the stage. That's your canvas. When you're all set, you just hit that little green flag at the top and watch your idea come to life. And just like that, we're at our final section. You've seen the tools, you've toured the workshop. Now it's time to bring it all together and get you thinking about your first project. You know, when you think about traditional coding, it can look like a tangled, confusing mess. It's easy to get lost. But the whole point of Scratch is to be the exact opposite. It's clear, it's simple, it's inviting. Everything is designed to get the frustrating stuff out of your way so you can just focus on what's fun, designing, creating, and testing out your awesome ideas. So that brings our little tour to a close. We've covered what Scratch is, why it's such a great way to learn, and how all the different parts work together. Really, there's only one question left, and it's the most exciting one of all. Now that you have the tools, what are you going to create first? A game? A story? An animation? The canvas is all yours.